Good evening, everyday leaders. It is Sunday, September the 12th. I am really thrilled and honored tonight. Everyday Leaders platform celebrates everyday leaders living their lives with intention to impact the world and change the world. And tonight, my good friend Chip Baker is joining us once again with the authors from The Impact of Influence, Volume 2. Oh my gosh, we did this about a week or so ago and
Yes.
heard from the authors, and I'm so excited because we have a few of them back. We have a few new authors, and I want you to sit tight, get your journals out, and take some notes because this launch is coming up on September the 18th. So just a few days away, and you're going to be able to order this book, pre-order now, but get it in your hands so that you
Yeah.
can have the impact and create that impact and influence in your communities. So Chip, thank you for joining us. I love you.
Mel, right back at you. Thank you so much for your support. And I tell you that all the time, but I hope you know I really mean it. Because I tell you so much. Like, man, he always tells me that. No, but I really appreciate your support. You don't have to do the thing that you do for us, and you choose to. And we are truly grateful for that. And so I just want to say thank you so much for having us. And right back at you. Love you too.
You're welcome. All right, we're going to kick this off with our introduction video. So sit tight. Don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Mr. Chip Baker himself. We've got people from the Everyday Leaders 50 and 50 conference that have already seen her on here saying, go get it. They are so excited to join us. So for those of you that are just joining us, we have Chip Baker tonight, multiple time author, best-selling Amazon bookseller, multiple influencer on so many levels. You guys know him from the Success Chronicles all around the world, has really supported the first volume of The Impact of Influence. We didn't know it was the first volume at that time, but Chip,
No.
man, you are amazing, and I love you. You are a teacher, still a coach down in Texas at Oak Ridge High School, and so part of my heart, people that know me know that I am from Orlando, Florida, and when Chip and I met, there were so many things that were commonalities. And you know that one person that you meet that you say, wait, that's like the universe aligned. And so for so many reasons, my family lived on Oak Ridge Road in Orlando, Oak Ridge and Orange Blossom Trail. And Oak Ridge High School is right there. And I just laugh because we've talked about this. That's the influence that we didn't even know existed until we go back and connect these dots. So, Chip, I just want to thank you from my heart for all you do.
Hey, right back at just got thank you much for your support, and it's always cool to see our growth. Because we both kind of started similar times. I've always strived to support one another, and I'm just grateful that the big man has blessed us to cross paths and allow us to grow together.
Amen. Amen. And I am so excited to celebrate you tonight because, like we did with The Impact of Influence first book, and I have it right here. It's a great book. 16 authors poured their heart out to tell their stories. And so I love this because you have written your own books, you've collaborated with authors, but this is the first time you did a visionary project. So first of all, before we bring everybody else on, let's talk about how you decided to do this project in itself, because I don't know if there's going to be a volume 3, but right? Tell me how you get this vision, because this is amazing.
Yeah. So, just like I said, how we're connected, I'm grateful to be connected with great people. I have a a guy that I'm connected with, Sugar Ray Destin of Business of Books, a mastermind, publishing, and we do work together. Similar to you and I, we support one another. And he was like, you connected with some great people. You ever thought about bringing some of those people together and putting them in a book? I was like, that's a really good idea. Let's do that. So we did that. And the first one was amazing. I mean, like what we got back from it, hit #1 in 11 categories, Amazon bestseller, book tour, like 10-city book tour. You were part of that in Indy,
Yep.
came and spoke at that to support. I mean, just the outpouring of love and support has been amazing. And so, got to do that again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to do that again.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing, right? The impact of influence, that's exactly what it means. When you
Yes.
start finding something that sinks, that you know that other people are on your journey and
Yeah.
they are impacting their communities, that's what this is about. So, without further ado, Chip, I'm going to bring the guys on and I want to go
Yeah.
round robin here and let's just give
Yeah.
them some time to share their stories because I really, I love celebrating you guys. I'm so proud of all of you. So here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Mel, we need to warn the audience
Yeah.
that it's about to get hot.
It is about to get
Hey,
hot.
Man, these guys are powerful.
I wish I had a bell.
We got to warn them now.
Do you have a bell?
Yeah. Hey, I need
Let's
to get out
go.
the church fan. Hold on, let me get the church fan. Yeah, hear your song.
I am so excited because you guys, their stories are powerful. They're going to change your life.
Oh,
And
man.
if you haven't read the first one, get
Oh,
that
my.
one and get
Yeah.
ready for the second launch because
Yes.
it's this week. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to add Manny and Abraham and Victor and Darius. And oh my goodness, here we go. We've got Derek Pearson and
Hey,
Charles Woods and Chris Nick.
Woods.
Hello.
Hey.
Wonderful to see you guys. This is amazing. Some of you were on the last time, and a lot of you are new. And so, raise your hand if you are a first-time author. This book makes you a first-time author. Anybody? Manny and Chris?
Nice.
Yes.
Excellent. My goodness, your life is about to change. Your story is going to change lives. And so I want to congratulate you because I just love this journey and understanding what your story is about, who it can connect to, and who you can serve through this will absolutely change the world. And that's what everyday leaders are. So I love celebrating you. Let's start off with some of the guys that we have not heard from before. First-time authors. How about we start off with Chris in the corner here? I feel like I'm on Hollywood Squares. Chris Nixon, how are you this evening? And tell us about your story and what we can expect from your book.
Absolutely. I'm blessed on this evening. It's an honor to be here in fellowship with everyone, these great authors, and yourself even more so. I thank you for the opportunity here. And
Sure.
so just to go ahead and a little bit about myself, I am 30 years old, first-time author, entrepreneur at heart, and more so, community servant, as well as just enjoy serving others in so many ways. And just a little bit about the book that I put in there, just put how the village concept and the village-minded folks, how they reared me into the person that I am today, basically, and why I do some of the things that I do.
Excellent. That's influence, right? And that's made an impact in your life. And that's your legacy, right? That's the next thing to carry on to now share. And I'm just telling you from experience, when you put those words and those thoughts down in a book, and now you see it in stores, and you are able to speak into it, and you're able to hand that to someone else. My mentor, John Maxwell, said a long time ago, you're going to touch people that you could never meet. And that just fills your heart because now you know that the universe is responding to you and you're going to serve millions of people through your story. So, congratulations.
I thank you so much. And I mean, it is a great opportunity. And I'm humbled to be able to, I mean, just touch one. So, I mean, to just know that others are able to, you know, receive just a little bit of it as well. I mean, it means the world's most.
Absolutely. I am so excited. All right. Let's go to Manny. Manny, you have a secret.
Hey, well,
This
hey,
last
Mel,
night
before we go, before we hit
Oh.
Manny, I want to share this secret with you.
Yes.
Like Chris is my real brother.
Wow.
Like all the guys are my brothers, but like Chris is my real brother. He's my real little brother. So you didn't know that, so I wanted to make sure I let you know that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's go.
Look at that,
Let's
man.
go.
That's awesome. I didn't ask you, are you in Texas as well?
I'm in Texas as well. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Dallas.
keep in line. You're closest one to keep him in line. Let's go.
Good luck.
I love it. Welcome to the family, Chris. This is awesome. All right, Manny, Mr. Manny, I know that you have, we have two secrets now, right?
You're right.
But you and Chip go back a long time, probably, well, second to Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Chip and I grew up together. We've known each other for probably 30 plus years. So I've been very fortunate, very lucky to grow up with him. You know, we're from a very small town where everybody knows everybody. You know, if you went over to somebody's house, their parents were, you know, able to whip your butt if you needed it. So that's the type of small town we grew up in. So it was great. So I mentioned this last time on the show, but what everybody is getting to see about Chip is, you know, we've all known. So we're glad that he's able to share this with really everybody worldwide. He's just a great guy. Always thinking of others and how he can help, you know, in a situation and help out. So I've really been blessed. My family's blessed, you know, to know him and his family. We actually live pretty close together right now. We actually went to the movies together last weekend. So and then my son, you know, stayed with him that night. So it's great to see our families just still connecting like that. And man, I'm blessed and we're blessed to be a part of his family. And so I'm honored.
Well, the heart is so big, right? That's where it starts. And I think, as you said, you know, when we all connect together, like I feel like you guys are my extended family now, right? Because it comes through Chip. And so that's the thing, right? You unite because you have influence. And man, when you get that momentum, was just listening to a retraining from my John Maxwell courses, and Dave Ramsey spoke, and he was talking about momentum. And he said, you know, intentional focus plus God equals unstoppable momentum.
That's true.
You know, I think about that and I always think Chip Baker comes to mind because here it is, second volume, 18 authors now. And you guys have this heart to say, we can really share our story and it will be powerful to make a difference because combined, that momentum is unstoppable. So,
right. And this, I'll tell a quick Chip story. And this kind of embodies Chip. We were actually, you know, we worked together. We coached together at Conroe High School, and we were doing our summer camp, our youth summer camp. And, you know, Chip and I, we've known each other to where we could kind of look at each other, kind of know what's going on already. So it was a Monday through Thursday camp. The kids had a blast. And we were walking off the field both thinking, man, this would be great back home because we didn't have that growing up. The kids had a blast, and that was on a Thursday. You know, we talked about it for a little bit. By Monday, Chip had already had it set up. He'd already talked to the administration back home. Thankfully, one of our friends' father was, you know, in the administration. had already set up the fields for the next summer. So that right there is an example of, we talking about go get it, his mantra. That's an example of him, and that's what he does. He's not just, a lot of people, kind of just talk about it, but he does it and he's about it. And, that's Chip.
That is Chip. Oh, go get it, man. I love it. Thank you, Manny. Thanks for all you do. And to you and Chris both, like, congratulations. This is going to change your life. This is going to change your life.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Abraham.
Hello, Melanie.
Hello. Great to see you.
Yeah, you as well. I'm doing really well. Blessed to be experiencing this opportunity with all of these amazing men and yourself. Again, thank you for sharing your platform. This is amazing. I'll share a little bit about myself, but before that, I want to say thank you, a special thank you to Chip. Chip and I met at we met before, but we met up at a Waffle House in Florida, Pensacola, Florida. And Chip was just sharing about this amazing opportunity that he was doing and that there was a way that I can be involved. And when he shared it with me, I could hear Chip's heart. I can hear, just his ambition to the success of this project. And it just made sense. I remember talking to my wife and I was like, this just makes sense, and it's Chip. Right. So and as you've been hearing, Chip has a heart for people, and it's amazing to be connected with him and then now connected with so many other men and people around the world. So a little bit about my background. I am a mental health advocate at heart. I have a company called Speaks to Inspire, and we're a mental health programming and consulting agency. We work with universities, colleges to build mental health programs to bridge the gap between young adults and mental health resources. But that's my experience and story now. And it actually started from a very difficult conversation that I had in my life that changed my life. And I talk about this in the book. I had a best friend of mine when I was a college freshman at the University of West Florida. Go Argos. Not many people know about Argos, but go Argos. But it was a challenging first year for me, and I was experiencing, stress. I was overwhelmed during that time. I'm the first in my family to go off to college, to graduate from college, and so being the first, it came with its challenges. One of those challenges was battling with my mental health, and also growing up in a Jamaican household and not having those safe spaces to talk about depression, my feelings, my thoughts, and all of that stuff. I didn't know how to navigate that period of my life. And the conversation that changed my life was from a best friend calling me one afternoon after recognizing that I was withdrawing and isolating and really struggling. And we were on the phone and she said, I'm not getting off of the phone until you tell me what's really going on. When she said that to me, I was like, whoa, because in my mind, I was doing a great job of masking, the fact that I was really struggling. I had the smile on my face, I had things going for me, but she saw beyond that. And she decided to step into that space and do what I like to call have a hot conversation, being honest, open, and transparent. And in that moment, I opened up and I shared everything. The fact that I couldn't sleep at night. I was having these racing thoughts. I wasn't eating. I didn't have motivation. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. And my best friend in that moment, she listened to me. And that was one of the first times in my life that I felt heard. And not only did she listen, but she showed me that I didn't have to go through this by myself and that there were resources available to me so I could get the help that I needed. Wow. Long story short, I got to the counseling center on campus. I got some help, and that started my mental health journey of treatment and recovery. And now I'm on the other side of that. So that conversation's changed my life. That was a very influential period of my life. And I write about that in this book. And I share the process that it takes for men and for, anyone to prioritize their mental health. Because I think a lot of times, especially during this time that we're all experiencing, there's a lot going on. We don't necessarily think about how it's affecting our mental health. but we have to start thinking about that because it is affecting our mental health. And if we're not doing well mentally, it's going to affect every other area of our lives. So I talk about the importance of prioritizing our mental health, how to identify if you're struggling, what resources are accessible. And my hope is that this book will be able to reach someone who is in need or someone who knows someone who's struggling and can really point them to those resources. So thank you again for the opportunity to share your platform. And I'm really excited about this project.
Oh, wow. This is amazing, Abraham. You know how many people talk about mental health right now? All of the panels and the summits that are just opening up to how can we be vulnerable enough to admit that we need some help, right? Even if we've been okay on Zoom for 2 years, it kind of throws you back to say, I'm not okay. I'm not okay with this, or I need to find a new strategy. And so I am really proud of you for coming forward and just talking about this, giving people permission to say, wow, that may be something that I need to tap into. So just congratulations. That is.
Mel, I'd like to add
Thank
in
you
on
so
that
much.
too, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like he told you a little bit, but I'm gonna brag on him a little bit here. You know, yes, he's done all of that, and you know, all of that he said, yes, but he's doing way more. You know, he travels the world and speaks and consults. He's been highlighted on MTV special about mental health. So I mean, he's really doing amazing things, and you know, just like he said, like we've all said, you know, just truly blessed to be connected to one another. And you know, the more we are around people like this, the more we can positively influence and make our world a better place. So I just wanted to brag on him a little bit, you know, because every one of the guys on here, they're not gonna say all of the stuff, you know, but I can do that about them. So just get ready. If they don't say it, I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna brag on them. Okay.
Well,
Right.
that's
I'm
awesome.
glad we cleared that up.
But here's the thing, right? So as men, it's different because women will talk about things. Women will tap into each other a little bit more sometimes, right? Pay attention to things sometimes. Men, it's like, I got to hold it together. If I do something different or if I say something, I'll look at a line. I won't look strong. I've got to be strong for everybody else. And so that's where I really think this is so important, especially in this book, that people need to understand that it's okay, right?
Indeed.
Wow. Boom. Boom.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Boom.
Wow. Yay. Bells and whistles, right? That's awesome. Congratulations. I am really excited. I can't wait for this book. All right. If you just joined us, September 18th is the launch party. So don't miss this coming up. We have heard from Chris and Manny and Abraham, and we're going to go to Victor now. Victor Pisano, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am just honored to know you, and let's hear about your story in the second volume. You were in the first volume.
I was absolutely blessed to be in the first volume, and you know, when lightning strikes twice, you got to get excited about that because I must be doing something right because I'm a happy man, and you know, I don't have anything left to really say about Chip. Like I got to think of things now because I feel like I keep repeating myself, but it's funny because the title and the irony, it's Chip. When I think about the impact of influence, like that's Chip's thing. It's what he's done for all of us. It's what he's done for anyone he comes in contact with. He puts something out there and he elicits greatness out of every one of us. He challenges us. He's involved in our lives. And for me, you know, he's like that much older brother I never had. So he keeps me in line and the stuff I need, but he's phenomenal. Like Chip is making people's dreams come true, and he does it with open heart, and he's an authentic as it comes. So Chip, I always love you, brother. You know that.
Appreciate
And
you.
as a result, look at the people I get to meet.
Let's go.
And Melanie, I told you last time, we're writing this book, and Chris said it, like, if we get one person to think different, what an opportunity is. But what people don't realize is we're changing as a result because we get to read each other's chapters, and I get to learn Chris's story, Charles, Derek's, Darius. I get to learn everybody's story, and it inspires me. So this collaboration that Chip has put together, it's a win-win because we're getting just as much out of it as everybody who reads it. So, I love it. And you, I'm telling you, you're just sunshine. You're the happiest person I know in the world, and you just make people happy. I told you the only reason I wrote this book was because we were going to get interviewed by you. I told Chip, I'll do volume 2 only if we get interviewed for Everyday Leaders. That's it, period.
Boom.
Boom, right, Chip? That was the only deal. I was like, I got to see Melanie again.
I got to get a bell in here. I got to get
or a gong. You need a gong for some people.
I love you, Victor. I can't wait. Here's the thing. I met Chip just recently when he came to my event, 2000 and what was it? 20? I don't know when it was. It was 2020 in February the 29th.
Right
You
before
showed up.
COVID.
And we met for the first time, and I felt like I had known you my entire life. And I know that's what everybody here, Chris has, but we all feel like
Yes, he wins.
he wins the gong. But yet it's one of those connections, right? And so that's what you guys are developing is this bond with each other, because now you have become authors with each other. So you're always going to have this connection for your whole life.
100%, 100%. And, just briefly, so for me in this chapter, when I write, I want to put my whole heart and soul in it. And the beauty of doing one chapter is you get that opportunity. And the first one meant so much to me. The second one, I jump into that magnetic influence and the GPS that life puts us through. And it's not our job to wait for people to come to us to influence us. We have to find them. And we've got to go through that journey and recognize. And what I did and what I learned, I'm a product of everybody who was willing to invest in me. And I went out and I seeked out those kind of people. And I think it's important, especially for this new generation, is there's a lot of people who are willing to be a mentor. There are a lot of people who are willing to influence you. And it's tough to find that inner circle sometimes, but you really have to be particular on who you're listening to, because too many times I think we call somebody an influencer because they have a shortcut to get there, as opposed to the other person who it's going to require a little bit of effort. I want them to lean on that person where it's going to require a little bit of effort. Because if you're willing to invest of yourself, get outside of your comfort zone, leadership and influence is not easy. The more complicated strategy, as opposed to the quick win, you go to the more complicated strategy. And that's why people don't accept influence or want to take that step. It's because it takes work. So I kind of jump into that and use the GPS as an example. But like I said, blessed for a first book. I can't even describe the feeling for a second.
I know which 2 books you're going to have on your shelf.
100%. Lots of them.
Well, congratulations to you, Victor. I can't wait to meet you in person soon.
Right? We've just had a COVID relationship. We got to get that out of here.
We got to get that out of here. I know.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to you again. Really proud of you. And thank you
Mel.
for stepping forward and really talking about this. Mentorship is so important. And I think at every level, leaders around the world are saying, they may have a mentor or they've been a mentor, but really, how do you do that the right way? And it can change lives when you really intentionally do those proper steps and lean into it in the way that that you are serving someone else. Not just giving advice, but you're serving someone for the things that you've learned. And you know what we say is a lot of the times the mentee teaches us more than we teach them. So that's the benefit of it, right? Amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Victor. I can't wait to get my hands on this. All right. If anybody, I see people popping on and off. So if you're just joining us, The Impact of Influence, Volume 2 comes out September the 18th. So if you're just joining us, you've got to get on this. There's pre-order. We're going to give you some information here, but we're going through and interviewing all of these authors that are on the line tonight. We've got Chris Nixon. Manny O. Trujillo. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Trujillo.
Trujillo. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's why the kids just call me Coach T.
Coach T, that's right. We've got Abraham, we've got Victor, we've got Darius, Derek, and Charles, and we're getting ready to go down here to Mr. Darius Bradley. So, Darius, thank you for joining again tonight. I love you. I love your passion, your heart. You're all over social media. Let's go. What's your chapter about? How can we lean in and learn from you?
Well, absolutely, Mel. It's a blessing. It's an honor and truly a gift. You know, I cannot dive into me until I unwrap this gratitude gift and package that I have for you, along with my brother Chip Baker. Listen, Mel, your heart is golden, okay? And my gratitude for you goes well beyond verbal expression, okay? I tell my brother Chip each and every time I talk to him how much I love him, how much I appreciate him. And it's not just for this book, but it's for him being organically who God created him to be. Okay. And so, like you said it earlier, when you're connected to Chip, you're connected to all whom he's connected to. And I know that the blessing in this room goes well beyond what we can ever understand. And it's going to help us emerge into our greater selves because of the ownership, the transparency, and everything that God has poured into us, right? The capacity to pour in more. It's an example right here, right now. And I just love and I appreciate you and Brother Chip so much. And man, like I said, it goes well beyond verbal expression. So I had to jump and get that off my heart and just put that out there first.
Love you, man.
But I love you as well. But it's more than a blessing to be here tonight, guys. Listen, you know, what I love about what Chip has done here, and I love that it comes from a place that was behind the scenes, right, of what we're seeing right now. So Chris got an opportunity to see some of that. Manny got an opportunity to see some of that. Chip had the opportunity to take ownership and experience all of that. And so through that experience, he has emerged into his greater self and enabled us all to do the same. And what I love about the impact of influence, not only just because I was in volume 1, okay, but being in volume 2, it comes with something. And Vic said it a minute ago. You know, we have a lot of individuals whom call themselves influencers, right? Because it's a cool name and it's something cool to do. But, you know, influencers, we don't give ourselves that title. It comes from a place of contrast. And if you look at the word closely, it starts with the 2 letters I-N. Internally, inside. In order to influence externally, you must first influence on the inside of you. And in order to do that, we have to take ownership of what it is that we're going through. So many of us are quick to sing someone else's song. And what I mean by that is, oh, do you remember Vic did this? Oh, you remember Chip and Manny did that? What about you, Darius? Do you know the lyrics to your song? Do you own up when you fumbled the ball? Do you own up when you fell short? Do you own up when you forgot your lines? Darius, do you show your scars and your bruises, or you just want everyone else to see the polished version of you? I'm unpolished. I'm unpolished. And that's what makes me who I am, because of whose I am. See, if it was already written, the fumbled ball was supposed to be a fumbled ball. If it was already written, when I fell down in front of the masses, it's a part of the process, because without that fall, the stand means nothing. The stand is just the stand. But I need that fall to make it become that influence so it can provoke those who are falling right now. You understand what I'm saying? And it's through those things that we go through each and every day that we don't run from. See, Jesus gave us the illustrations early on, because he could have blinked the eye, snapped the finger, blew his breath onto his hands and healed the wounds on his feet and his hand. But he left it there as a reminder that it's okay when you're nailed to the cross, because you shall rise also. It's okay when you're being spat upon. It's okay when you're being lied upon. It's okay when everything is going against you. The opposition is right there. The Goliaths, they're right there. At that very moment, we have an opportunity to become that David that lives within us and pull out that slingshot and use a sword that doesn't belong to us and lift a head over our head to show not only the world but ourselves that we are more than a conqueror. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And so the book is so organic that you cannot hold the book in your hand without having your heart feel as if it's about to bust outside of your chest. Okay, you cannot hold the book without breathing heavy and rapidly. You cannot hold the book and read one page, one verse, one line without your eyes bulging, because not only do you see what we're going through, but at that very moment you're identifying what it is that you're going through. And we're providing a way through our experiences. Because see, my chapter speaks of peace, be still. Peace, be still. And I go on to say, peace, be still, but don't keep still. Okay, because peace, be still, peace, be still means be quiet, don't worry about it, carry on. The noise will be there. But when we identify with peace, be still, what we will then experience is a freeing that can only come from the turbulence. They warn you when you get on a plane, when we experience, not if, but when we experience. So you're prepared. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. That's the 5 P's. But what if the 5 P's aren't introduced to you and you're experiencing that turbulence without any help? Well, listen, the turbulence that we are experiencing, it's not there to enable us to make us land our planes, but indeed that turbulence is there to enable us to become a better pilot. So go through it, because my 2 chapters in this book, I absolutely was going through it as I was writing it, was going through it and moving my face away from the pages so my tears would not drown out the words and the verbiage and the content that's going to bless those who pick up that book and not only read my chapter, but each of my brothers you see here. Each of our stories are a connection. And when you throw that lifeline out there, it's a line, right? It's a lifeline. Victor, Abraham, Manny, Chip, Charles, Chris, DP, even you, Mel, myself, we are that line saving that life. And that's what the impact of influence is all about.
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3, boom, right?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ready, go, Chip.
I'll drink some
1,
beer.
2, 3.
Boom.
Absolutely.
We warned them, man. We warned them
Dehydrated.
it was gonna be hot. We warned them.
Amen. Amen. I can't wait to get this book. All right. Those of you that are joining us, September 18th is the launch date. This is going to be awesome. These stories, these 18 authors that are in this book, you do not want to miss this opportunity. This will change your life. You've just heard from a few. And Darius, thank you for sharing, because I know who you are. I mean, we say character is what you see, but I know it's who you are on the inside that makes you what we see on the outside. And that's what I love. I love all of your hearts so much. And I really just celebrate you, everything that you do. This is awesome. All right. So someone put on here, proper preparation prevents poor performance. I don't know if you put that on there, Darius. Somebody captured that for you. So that is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing and doing and being who you are. And thank God, right? He created us to be able to have this moment together. So this was all part of the plan. All part of the plan. All right. We've got 2 more. So those of you that are following us, here we go. I've got Derek Pearson next. And Derek, it's so great to see you again. Congratulations as an author now again. Thanks for joining us. Remind me where you live.
I am currently residing in Middle America, Lincoln, America, as they say locally, but representing the Cornhuskers of the great state of Nebraska. That's where I live now.
All right, you're closer to me than Chip is.
Well, I was neighbors with Chip when I was in Texas, and then I left there and moved here. Well, I didn't move here. The university called me here, and I followed.
There you go.
And I've been a servant to the universe for most of my life. I pay attention and I listen. So when the universe directs me or redirects me, I pay attention. I say yes, and I get to work. Melanie, let me say thank you. You are my sister. Let me say that. Thank you for having me so that we can meet in your place, in this place of love with my brothers, my family, and this community that we have created for other people. Like, we get the blessing of being in this space because we know that love lives here. We know that love is welcomed here. And I'm just appreciated that you guys would have me here. Let me share some love on a Sunday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I won't be the spoiler. So for people that haven't read the first Impact of Influence, here it is. But volume 2 is coming out. So talk to us a little bit about how you transitioned in volume 2, Derek.
Volume 1 was about family, because that's what love is. Love is family. Love is the ability to use my favorite statement and my favorite declaration when I walk into a room or space, which is, do I have your permission to tell you the truth? Because that's what love is. It is trust. It is a common place that we get to recall to say we love each other, and the truth is allowed, not only allowed, but expected here. And the second one, I went beyond family. Love is community. Love is knowing that the person next to you understands your place, your space, and your elevation. They know where you come from. They know who you are at a greater, deeper level than often ourselves. And community goes with us. It travels with us. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what we become, our base community is what we work from and who we represent at the greatest, deepest level. So no matter where you are in the country or in the world, you have a community that when you travel the world and you hear the word community, there's a place that you think of. For me, it's a group of people who was just a community of impactors and influencers, coaches, moms, sisters, brothers. There's an organization that I was raised in, and I'm old enough that I was a part where lives were separated by color and basis. But in this space, which sports does almost as well as anything in the world, sports will take those things, those boundaries, and remove them, because in this space, we got into huddles and we were more important than me. We would go in the dugout, we go in the locker room, and we were more important than anything else. All the individuals were set aside so that we could get to our greater mission and our greater purpose. That's the beauty of schools, little league teams, the teams that we grow on, and then the clubs that we join. In Washington, D.C., just outside of D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, there's a community that was unique. There were no colors in that community. Yes, everybody was represented. Everybody was wide open with who they were. And no matter what happened, we looked out for each other, which should be the ultimate definition of community. Like I say that I am the accumulation and collection of love, because there were people that when my mom wasn't there, there were moms that were there. When my brothers weren't there, I had brothers that were there. I understood my respect for the opposite gender, because everybody's sister was my sister, and I needed to treat her as such, love her as such, respect her as such. So in Arlington, Virginia, no matter where you are in the world, if you're from Arlington, you hear the phrase, the mighty, mighty Black Knights.
Mm.
Everybody smiles. Everybody, we do that hero thing, and all these coaches here will understand what I'm about to say. The chest goes out, the chin goes up, the smile you have to fight, right? And if you could, you put those hero fists to the hips and you stand there in a heroic thing because you know that something good is going to happen because of the Black Knights. You knew that there was a rally. Those were superheroes. We just didn't know it. Like, we just didn't know it. And we jokingly say now that the Black Knights have a bat signal that they throw up in the air at any moment. And when we look up, you look at your phone or your inbox, that text, that tweet, that's the signal for the bat signal, because love is required. Mm. And you look at your phone, and the next time somebody calls you or texts you, smile to yourself, because nobody reaches out for anything but love, ever. So that's your superpower. Play to that. That's what community is when that text go, you look down and you go, somebody need me, let's go. I wanted to say thank you. Like, our favorite songs and our favorite stories are all love stories. And the impact of influence is just that. It's a collection of love stories. People who loved us, and now we're taking that to love them. And then we know that the people that we love, we're impacting people we're never going to meet, never going to know. There will be people forward who speak in our voice because of the people who spoke to us in there. I wanted to say to all my brothers, look, man, I love y'all. Y'all know this. I say it openly. This is how we get down. Anything covenant love can't be touched by anything else. And remember this, remember that walking order that we have. Love first, love last, and in between, no matter what, love more.
Mm.
Let's go.
Let's go. I need a big gong for that. Oh man, that's where it starts, right? Your heart is love. And so if we can just be love, that is as simple as that. And that's how we can make a bigger impact, just by thinking of others. And right, it comes from the big man. We don't have to make this stuff up. Nothing has ever been created new under the sun. We just get the instructions. So we've got to follow that rule, and it can really absolutely change lives. Man, love you, Derek. Thank you for sharing. What an important and powerful story you had in the first book. I cannot wait to see volume 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, before we go on, can I do another brag session?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Charles is sitting on the edge of his seat.
I know. We got to get to wood. But before we go on, I got to say, DP is the owner of a radio station now. Just came about. He owns the radio station there in Nebraska. And so, man, I had to make sure I say that. Congratulate him. So happy for him. Lots of hard work put into that. So, DP, man, so happy for you, brother.
This is, Melanie, please allow me to do this so I can explain why we do this. As I said, I had zero plans to be in Lincoln, Nebraska. The universe called me to it and put me here. And I don't plan much in life other than to love the next thing. I just can't. It's my job to change and impact through whatever action of love I can. And the word is this, and you guys will understand this from, I am now one of 68 owners of this color and complexion in America who own radio stations. Black people own 100, I believe it's 168, but there are only 68 individual owners. And of 15,000 some odd radio stations in the country, what we can now do from this what I'm supposed to do from this. This isn't about me. This allows anybody from anywhere, of any calling, any preference, to say, I can do this. I can have government sanctioned voice. I can present facts. I can host stories. I can direct conversation. And that, look, man, Chip's coming on the show tomorrow. We're going to set it on fire. They already know to have water with them before they do it. I will have each and every one of you on over the course of the next few weeks and months. But Melanie, you and I will have this discussion. It just now, I can have love discussions and I don't have to explain them to anybody.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we love you. And that's how it is, right? That's how it goes. And when you give yourself permission, like when Abraham was talking about mental health, when you have somebody else that just stops you and says, wait a minute, I know that there's something on your heart. And Chip will always say, what's on your heart? What's on your heart? So when you have somebody that really intentionally is listening to you to say, man, stop, what's on your heart? What's really going on? That gives you the permission to have a connection, a spiritual connection like nobody else, right? And that's the power in this. And when you do that, when you pay attention, that's the impact of influence. That's as simple as it is. And it will absolutely change your life so that you can help change others. Amen. Hey, if for those of you that are watching real quick, I just put the link up here for the launch party on September the 18th. And if you want to copy and paste this, it's in the chat on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on all the Facebook threads that are going on here. You can go back to this and it'll also be in the post. So don't miss this on September the 18th, which is coming up in just a few days, 12 p.m. Eastern. And without further ado, Charles Woods, you've been so patient. You're awesome. I love you. And bravo, man. Thank you for hanging on there. But I did not want to, your entrance is so important because your story in the first book was so powerful. And here we go, volume 2. So, man, thank you for being a part of this. You have my heart. You are an amazing person. And I just love you. And I'm so glad that you're here tonight.
Well, thank you, Mel. Thank you for having myself and my brothers on the show tonight. It's always a pleasure. Good evening, brothers. It's always great. It's last. I'm patient, but I enjoy just listening to what everyone has to say. I feel like I learn something every time we get on here. I know I learned something from everyone. It's great to see Manny, Abraham, some new gentlemen to this process. It's good, man. I'm telling you, I enjoy it. I don't have to say a word. I can sit here and listen to this all night and be satisfied. If time ran out and I couldn't say nothing, it'd be fine with me because I learned something every time I get on here. Like with Abraham, that hot, man, that's on fire. Honest, open, and transparent. That is amazing. And then, Darius, you from the first time around, I think you hit a whole lot of things, and then you always pop something else out of there, like these 5 Ps, man. That was awesome too. So,
lifeline.
Man, it's always great to hear from everyone, man. I really appreciate being a part of this process. My name is Charles Woods, born in Dallas, Texas. Was raised in Conroe, Texas. I reside now in Atascocita. I've had the privilege and the honor of working with Chip and Manny through life. I think we spent probably 6-7 years together working in the same building on the same campus, coaching our young scholars. It was a great opportunity. It was great building those relationships with those young men. Mel, you muted yourself.
I said, oh, sorry, there you go. Too many buttons, right? I was trying to get that advertisement on there for you guys. Here's the thing. Can you give us a sneak peek? What's coming in volume 2?
All right, in volume 2.
It's hot.
I know it's hot. Where's my goal?
Volume 2, I had to think about it for a little bit, and then it's about awareness, man. It's about awareness and everything that you go in life. You don't do things by yourself. There's influences throughout your life, whether you know it or realize it at the moment. You know, there's positive and there's negative influences about your path that you want to take. You can choose that positive side of things, and you can choose the negative side of things. For me, I just speak on a little bit of my journey through life and the influences that hit me. You know, as a kid growing up, you know, you really don't realize it when you're going through struggles in life and things aren't going like they should at home. You just like for me, I just get up in the morning, I just go, man. I go. I know there'll be a better day. I know there's better things out there for us. So I just move along. This has helped me reflect a whole lot, even through the first book of the influences that really hit me in my life. You know, because people would ask me, well, how did you come out the way that you did? You know, going through some of the situations that you went through, and I can honestly tell people, I don't know. You know, I really don't know. You know, I really didn't pay attention to it as a youth, man. I was just trying to move and trying to make it and trying to get to the next point. But this really has been one of those situations where I've got a chance to deeply reflect on life and see and just seeing those negative influences out there and those positive influences and the path that I chose, you know. And I'm big on it now, and my profession is reflection. I reflect every day. I believe reflection is the best way for you to get better, for you to learn, and to put your best foot forward. So this has really been a great opportunity for me to reflect and just see those influences that have crossed my path. And I just want everybody to realize that they have influences. You have a choice of which direction you want to go. So you got to make that best choice for you in life.
Man, you know, if you could just start every morning with that, you know, it could change your whole life. Knowing that you have the permission.
Right.
This is what I love about this group. And Chip, your extension for every single person, it goes around the world. When you pick out 16, 18, 19 people, you know, everybody has the same heart. And so I want to encourage people, get to know these authors. If you haven't read volume 1, get this book, and get volume 2 that's coming out, The Impact of Influence, volume 2. This will connect you to things that will give you permission to do things that you may have never thought about. Now, these are all men in these books, but I'm going to tell you, as a woman, these are strategies that every single person can do and change, because it's about the heart. So when you look at the cast of authors right here and you say, well, that won't influence me, it doesn't really matter to me because, you know, I'm not a man. Well, let me just tell you something. I've cried in every single story from volume 1. So I want to tell you, if you're in for a great lesson, you want to change your heart, you want to learn wisdom, you need to pick up both volume 1. It's not titled volume 1. But it is. And volume 2. So powerful. So I'm going to put on, and here's the link. If you're watching the chat right now, if you've just joined on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, go to this link and you can join the launch party on September the 18th at 12 noon Eastern. All right. Central. Oh, I'm so sorry. It is Central.
No
I've got a banner on there. 12 Central. So 1 p.m. Eastern for those of you on the East Coast. Now, Chip, I know we're like 58 minutes. This has been amazing.
Yes.
For everybody to have the opportunity to really step into what their chapters are about. And so I wish we had 4 hours, because I just want to hear all about your lives. Tell us your vision again for people that are joining us, for your heart. You've listened to these guys now. You've read, you know what their chapters say. We don't. You do. Yeah. So close this out, because we love you.
All right. So 2 things, and I'm going to be real brief on this, but I'm glad that you said that about, you know, it doesn't matter who you are, you can benefit from reading the book. And so, you know, we a big wide array of backgrounds, experiences that we've had, that we've been vulnerable to share. And you know, I met with the editors, you know, a few days ago, and just like you said, the editor said this, and I'm not a talk about me or us kind of person, but this makes me proud, so I want to make sure I share this. But the editor said to me, "Oh my gosh, there's a few stories in here that made us cry,"
Mhm.
and that's the editors. And then the next comment was, "Man, rich content." You know, and that's the editors, you know, and they do this, right? And so, man, I'm truly grateful for that. And then that brings me to the next thing. So everyone has heard the amazing stories of every one of the authors, of their backgrounds, what they talked about a little bit, you know, some of the things, but it makes me think of this. Your ROI determines your ROI. And I'm gonna say that again. Your ROI determines your ROI. And what I mean by that, Mel, is this. So your return on your investment, and it's an inverse relationship. Your return on your investment. So everyone that's in the book, they invest with a pure heart. They go above and beyond to give. You heard them. They help others. That's what they do, right? It's not about them. That's why they were intentionally chosen, you know, to be a part of it. But then because they invest so much in others and help so much, their radar of influence grows. Right? So just like on this call, we've all invested in helping. Mel, you got us on here on your platform to help us support. Like, you're investing in us, right? So just by that, our radar of influence has exponentially grown to the people that we could, I mean, and just you and I in our situation, the people that we have connected to one another, that we've tried to help. Hey, this person, Mel, will be good for, you know, just the things that we've done. And then, like I said, it's inverse. So our radar of influence, when we do that influence, that determines our return on our investment, right? So it's a back end thing, and we've experienced that through the first volume. You know, we put it out there, just me and Vulnerable sharing our the things that have happened in our life, the blessings and the lessons that we learned, and how we're using that in the world to strive to make our world better. And it has blown us away with the things that have come out of this. You know, like, oh my gosh, like #1 bestseller in 11 categories of 10 city book tour. I mean, like, we're sharing it in schools all across the world. I mean, like, it's amazing. Like, it blows me away, like the things that are coming from it. And so that's what it's all about. And I hope that, you know, those of you that are watching, those of you that are listening, first, I want to say thanks so much. And to you brothers, my brothers and Mel, thanks so much for the opportunity for us to be together doing our thing. But then, you know, for you that's listening, you know, audience, please go get it. I promise you, I can't promise you much, but I can promise you this: you will not be disappointed with the stories, because like I set it up, right? Selfish, I tell the funny, but I set it up. I've done it. I've sent the first chapters. I saw it all. But even in the first book, I have a book where I go through and I highlight and I underline and I take notes from every person that's in this book. And I know them. I know their stories, right? And I plan on doing that for the second one. And I already know them. And so if I'm doing that, man, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I promise you.
Nope, you won't.
No.
You won't. Absolutely. And I'm so excited because I know how the first one changed the authors that were the first time authors. And the power that they were able to say, I was free to tell my story. Yes. And now I can share it with others. And now I have a way, like you said, you don't really know what's going to happen until you step forward. And I think, Victor, you touched on this, but you have to be the one to take that step. Nobody else can do that for you. And once you do that, the freedom that comes with that to say, what's next, right? What's the vision next? And how can I have a bigger impact? So my heart is so about all of you. I love you. I'm so excited for the release of this on the 18th. So if you're just watching here, September the 18th,
yes,
this launch party is at 12 Central.
Yes,
at
ma'am.
1 Eastern. And we have the link in here. Chip, thank you. Just thank you for all you do. Thank you for changing the world. Like I say, everyday leaders, this is part of who you are, and it's your DNA. And so without you, none of us would be connected. And we love you for that.
Thank you so much.
We love you for that. Thank you, gentlemen, for all that you do. I'm really excited for you. I'll be at the launch party, and I think we should do a go get it, Chip, before we leave. All right.
All right,
Ready?
here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much again for all that you do. I'm excited for you. I will see you at the launch party on September the 18th. Have a great night. All right. Go
Go get it.
Go get
Go
it.
get it.
Right here. Go get it, guys. Thanks a lot, Chip. Love you. Have a great
you.
week. All right.
Boom.
Boom. Bye.